Hi, this is John and welcome back to my channel. My question for you today is, how much time are you putting into the gym and building your body? How many hours per week are you doing this? This is a really important question because one of the main things in life that you cannot get back, no matter how hard you try, is your time. So, time. You can get back an investment, you can get back an ex-girlfriend, you can get back an ex-wife, ex-husband, whatever it is, but you cannot get back your time. So once it's torched, it's over with. So just to give you a little background, a few years back when I started training, I started out on a very high-intensity type training program the first few years that I was training, and my workouts were basically 3 times a week, about 30, 45 minutes, somewhere in that zone. At that point, I moved from New York to Southern California and training at Gold's Gym in Venice, California. Got caught up in all the hype and wanting to be at the gym every single day. So I trained a little bit traditional for a few years. And during that time of traditional, conventional training, which was, almost every day, it was like a 3 on, 1 off, and 3 days of training and then 1 day off to rest. And those workouts would last about an hour and a half. Boy, at the end of my week, I was totaling up the amount of hours that I was putting in. And at 6 days a week of workouts, I'm looking at something like 9 hours a week devoted to just training with weights, just lifting weights on my body in the gym. So to me, it was a poor trade-off. At the time, I remember thinking back to the best gains I had made up to that point was training on high-intensity training, with very short workouts. And I mean, we're talking about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours worth of training versus 9 hours. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was training a third or less of the time in high-intensity fashion. So at that point, I decided training 9 hours a week was a part-time job. And I don't get paid enough for that. And that certainly was the case because I didn't make a living. It was not my profession at the time. So, of course, I backed off and went back to the high-intensity training and cut back to 2, 3 workouts a week in that zone. And since that time, have made progress again for the last 20 years, 25 years. So what I'm getting at is this. Reevaluate the time that you're putting into your gym. Don't be so dogmatic and stuck as far as how many hours you're training. Don't be stuck on the fact that you must go to the gym, Monday through Saturday. Don't be stuck on you must put in 90 minutes of training, otherwise it just wasn't worth it. You must do 20 sets of body part or else it just wasn't worth it. You must do 3 exercises for your thighs, 5 for your back, 3 for your chest, whatever it is. The fact is those things can add up to be too much. The investment of your time, again, which you cannot get back, that investment at some point in time, it starts to bring, there may be some good dividends that it brings in the beginning, but then over the course of time, it starts to work in the negative in the form of injuries and in the form of your time being invested. You literally, if you're going to the gym 6 days a week, and hey, it's one thing if you're taking a small section of your year to train for a contest or an event and you want to train that way. Hey, by all means, nobody can knock you for that. However, if you're training most of your year that way, you're literally stunting your social growth, your intellectual growth. I mean, all of that with your free time outside of your regular job that pays you a salary, that pays for your mortgage, that pays for your food. So when you're going to the gym, unless you're a professional bodybuilder, and most of you that I'm speaking to are amateur, I know. So if you're an amateur and you don't make a living at this, then what are you doing? Bottom line, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Is it necessary to train that way? Seek out possibly training in a higher intensity fashion, putting less time in the gym. See if it works. Hey, what would it hurt to dedicate just one single year of your training in a high intensity fashion and going about it in such a cool way that you can see if at the end of that year you've made progress just the same or even better than you did training in conventional 6-7 days a week training. Just some of my thoughts on the subject because it worked out so well for me. I hope it works out the same for you as well and that you make continued progress from my heart to you. I'm just sharing that one with you. John Hart, Mr. America Hart, thank you for stopping by today. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video and all of my videos. Please take the time to subscribe and like and give me your comments below. I love hearing them. Thank you.